Good evening, everybody. I'm Jonathan Wilner with Harrington Limousine Service, and welcome to our Facebook Live on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. So what I want to do this evening is share with you a little bit about who I am and my company. I'm Jonathan Wilner. I'm third generation owner of Harrington Limousine Service, where we provide peace of mind anywhere, anytime. We're a limousine service transportation company. We're providing service worldwide, nationwide and worldwide. And one of the things that we're very proud of is the way that we've adapted to COVID-19 and how we're providing peace of mind to all our clients, not only locally here in New Jersey, but around the world, because our affiliates are around the world are emulating the same service, same process that we're handling here as far as cleaning and disinfecting and how their chauffeurs are trained. So here in New Jersey, we clean the vehicles from the outside and then clean and disinfect on the inside of the vehicle. And when we close the back doors and everything, it's all done. The next person that will be exposed to that area is the traveler. We have plastic barriers in between our chauffeurs and our passengers to give the little extra peace of mind, once again, that it's safe, that it's clean. Our chauffeurs are wearing masks and gloves and have prepared kits to clean and disinfect, as they've been trained to clean and disinfect the passenger compartment of every vehicle. Now, our affiliates, both nationwide and worldwide, are emulating the same process where they have taught their chauffeurs how to clean and disinfect as we have ours, and also maintain particular protocols to ensure safety. We take our chauffeurs' temperature every morning before they leave to ensure that they're not running a temperature, that they feel okay, that they have enough supplies, masks and gloves and so forth. And this is how we ensure that we provide you peace of mind. People don't like to travel as much anymore, and therefore, the last thing that they want to do is worry about how they're getting from point A to point B and being safe. The other side of this is enough about our company and me and so forth. I'm part of a networking group called BNI. I'm very happy to be a member of BNI and my particular chapter, the founders, which in the past met in person at the APA Hotel in Woodbridge in Metro Park. Now we're doing it virtually. And what I'm trying to do now is expose a lot of our members. We've got some really great members in our chapter, and every week I'm trying to share a little bit of what I experience every week. So I want to share it with everybody here on Facebook. So tonight I have a very unique individual. His name is Vikram. He's a certified public accountant. He has a firm in Island, also not far from Metro Park train station. So it's great to have him on board this evening. He took the time out of his schedule, it's 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I want to introduce Vikram to all of you. So Vikram, come on down.
Good evening, Jonathan.
Well, welcome, Vikram. Thanks for taking the time to join us. Nobody knows you, from, well, maybe some of the people do know you. If you know Vikram, say hi. But in the meanwhile, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are? I mean, where'd you come from? You suddenly popped up on my screen. So how'd you get here?
Sure. So my name is Vikram Venkataramani. I currently live in Edison. I'm married to my wife, Divya. I have two daughters, currently in elementary school in Edison. I love to travel. I love to spend time with my kids. I do run a CPA firm. I am the owner of the firm. We do have some great staff working with us, and we have clients all over the country and all over the world. And we actually specialize in various accounting services, consulting services, tax preparation, tax planning for businesses and individuals.
Wow, it sounds like you do so much. You must have an amazing team that you work with, because I can't imagine one person being able to handle all of that.
It's so true.
Right?
So true. Absolutely, we do. And yeah, I'm very proud of the I guess my team, and they are a family away from home.
Wow, that's awesome. So tell me, how did you? I mean, you seem like a young guy. I mean, I'm not going to pick on an age or anything, but you seem like a young guy. I mean, where did you work before, and how did you get to being the owner of your own firm? I mean, that
Sure.
can't be easy.
Yeah, I mean it's a nice story. I mean, I actually studied engineering in college. I went to Cornell in upstate New York, and after working for a couple of years in actually a retail company called Linens and Things, I was working in their IT group, and then I decided, you know what, I wanted to be more front facing, dealing with clients, really providing value. And so I decided, you know what, I'd start studying for my CPA, take some accounting courses. I got the CPA, and I actually joined a firm called KPMG. It's one of the big four in New York. And I kind of rose the ranks there. And I was a senior manager about almost 10 years ago. And, going through, I guess, working in the audit department of KPMG, one of the things I found was that, we were kind of stuck doing a lot of documentation and not necessarily providing that value timely to the clients. I mean, yes, it was great compliance work, absolutely required, regulated, but ultimately I wanted to provide that direct value. And so that's when I decided, you know what, I would start a firm and start providing some direct services to end clients. That included everything from audits for royalty agreements, and then also doing some consulting services. And then ultimately, I did kind of acquire a tax practice in New Jersey and shifted my firm from New York to New Jersey. And so now, we provide a whole bunch of services as well.
Wow, is this a complex thing to be able to? I mean, is it complex to provide these services? Is because I never really hear of any CPA actually offering the laundry list of services that you provide, and you do it all in house. So, is it unusual to have a firm actually handle so much?
No, I mean, there are going to be, you are going to have more niche firms. And, every firm probably has a little more specialty than, than just being very generic. I mean, we deal with a lot of international clients. We deal with a lot of IRS controversy, state tax issues, things like that. So, we're able to help clients in very specific fields, but it just so happens that a lot of our clients are comfortable with us, and so we're able to adapt to what they need and effectively offer them a comprehensive suite of solutions. So even if that's working with other firms where necessary, working with attorneys, we're able to adapt and basically just make sure the client gets good service.
Well, that's pretty interesting that you're able to provide that. I mean, I think it's kind of rare that you get all of that and have a face to put with the services and say, "Oh, Vikram can do it."
True.
Yeah, we do that too, right? So,
Absolutely. That's something I definitely pride myself on, is being able to, be a one-stop shop for clients, if you will, and provide them a solution. Now, that being said, there are going to be situations where we can't do something. And again, it just comes down to being transparent and, not digging a hole for yourself, but, being upfront about it and, telling the clients to, go elsewhere or referring them out if necessary.
right. So tell me, this pandemic has really hurt a lot of industries, a lot of companies. I know that a lot of people are either gone out of business or not doing any business. I mean, your industry is a little bit more unique. I mean, you need if you're in business, you really should have a good CPA to handle your financial affairs. And well, at least that's my perspective. Um, so tell me, how has the pandemic or COVID-19 or whatever you want to refer to it, how has that actually affected your business or your business model? And, where's it going from? How has it changed, really?
Sure. I mean, great question. I mean, I'm sure everyone could attest to the fact that it was, scary. The last few months have been, very awful for many folks and many businesses. We also had, very scary situations. We didn't know, where this was going. And there were a lot of changes to, deadlines and timelines and regulations. And obviously we had to keep up with it, but then we didn't know if we'd obviously achieve the same amount of revenue that we were, let's say, accustomed to in years prior. So from a planning perspective, from a staffing perspective, it was very difficult. But then, things did start getting clearer, and we were able to adapt not only with a lot of remote technology that we were able to implement and already did implement over the last year, almost as a foreshadowing of sorts. But we were able to then communicate with the clients effectively and tell them, hey, listen, we're not going to meet in person, but we have these services available to you, and this way to send us your information. We're still here. We're still whether it's working remotely, having our staff set up at home, in their home offices. There was a lot of adapting to the situation, and while still making sure that confidentiality was maintained. The encryption of technology and documentation was also done. So I think there was adapting, just like every business that did survive had to do, whether it's changing some methodologies, but at the same time, we were happy to say that we did adapt, and we were able to, I guess, get through the last few months and hopefully steamroll ahead.
Wow, that's really kind of interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you didn't realize, we're Facebook Live, 7 o'clock. I'm Jonathan Wilner, Vikramani. Did I do it right? I'm going to butcher it a few more times. VVVCPA PC, right?
You got it. That's right.
Oh, at least I got that part right. And Vikram, I need to find out, was there any new technology, equipment that you didn't have, that you had to acquire in order to be accommodating? Was there something like that you had to do, or was really everybody, hey, I can log on remotely, I got my laptop, I can work, and it was no big deal kind of thing? Or was there new technology that you had to implement?
Sure. It's funny. Last summer, we embarked on a initiative to really become a more efficient firm, a firm of the future, not only for ourselves but for our clients, and to offer better service. So we did actually move all of our servers into the cloud. We started using virtual machines and AWS, which stands for Amazon Web Services. So we all have these virtual machines that we can run from anywhere. All we need is the a laptop or any web browser, and we're able to connect. We still had all the encryption, confidentiality, everything was maintained. But the beauty was we were able to now work remotely. So we did get that set up towards the end of last year, which kind of worked out very timely. And then even in terms of our phone systems, PBX, everything we can operate as if we were in the office. So it did help. I mean, we do have a large enough office space that ultimately we could work in the office if we needed, and have the appropriate social distancing and things like the shifts in place. But we do have that immediate impact of working remotely and able to provide the same level of service to our clients.
That's pretty cool. So how do you and your team actually collaborate? I mean, if everybody's working remotely, do you do a lot of this Zoom calls or a lot on the telephone? Because in the past, I'm sure you just got up from your desk, you walked over to so-and-so's desk and you had that conversation. Now it's...
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's we definitely have a lot of phone calls, a lot of team calls. We use Microsoft Teams. For some of our clients, we do Zoom sessions, or we get on Skype, or in some cases even FaceTime. If they're abroad, and it's just easier that way. But yeah, for our internal team, we just use Microsoft Teams to get everyone on the same page and do these conference calls, video calls, screen sharing, learning sessions, things like that.
Wow, very cool. Yeah. So, has your daily has your daily routine actually changed as well? Because you're like you said before, you were working from home and you go into the office, whatever. So what has your daily routine evolved from, and then now to? I mean, I know you touched on this before, but just could you elaborate just a little bit more on that for me?
Sure. I mean, personally, my routine didn't change too much. I mean, I was still waking up at the same time, still getting on client phone calls and team calls at the same time. I still get pretty much the same, if not more, emails than I used to. So not a lot has changed in terms of routine. However, working from home occasionally that definitely allows more time family. So a lot more flexibility in terms of my personal schedule. But I think in terms of the business routine, business was usual.
That's good. So I'm going to touch on this a little bit, maybe a little bit ahead of schedule. But tell me about your involvement in BNI and how'd you get there?
Sure. I mean, I'm currently the secretary treasurer of our BNI Founders Group, and I have held briefly a membership position prior to that. I think I was introduced because of a cold call. Really, it was a little over 2 years ago, and I got a call from the then vice president saying that they were looking for a CPA to join the group, and then I got to find out some background, not only about the group, but in terms of BNI in general. And it is great. I mean, not only for me and my firm, we are able to build our business portfolio through word of mouth and referral sources that give testimonials, and through word of mouth is really how we're going to build our business. And so something like a BNI, where you have all these other members, talking about your services and sharing their experiences with our firm and with me personally, that if anything has been a very positive thing. And yeah, I look forward to even more growth from being a part of BNI.
So if I was somebody saying, you know what, I need to grow my business and I don't know what to do, we've all met those people, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't want to put the effort, what would you tell them? I mean, what would you say tell me, let's step back for a second. Tell me, who is the person or profession that you would like to see sitting across the table from you, metaphorically speaking? And, obviously now we're in Zoom, for all virtual. So who would be the person or profession that you would like to see across the table from you? And then what would you tell that person? Say, hey, this is why you should come and visit with us and, potentially join.
Sure. I mean, I think the beauty of my business is that I can pretty much adapt and provide a level of service to any business owner or individual. So while there may not be one specific individual or type of person I'm looking for, I'll definitely share with them my mantra, which I mentioned to my family and to my coworkers, is when you have the right tools, really you can do anything. And one of the tools that you need to I guess have in your repertoire is a good referral source, a good networking source, a good source to provide testimonials, because that automatically is going to give you that business portfolio that I mentioned before. And again, it's like a free marketing service, and it's a constant marketing service. So I think I can really say exactly that to everybody, and it's going to be not only positive feedback all the time, but sometimes things may not go very well, and you have leadership teams, you have other members that are going to guide you and give you that constructive criticism to make yourself a better person, as well as hopefully business into a better business as well.
We're hoping that we're all working together to support each other. Obviously, it's not just, hey, I show up once a week, I do some networking, blah blah blah, and I go home, or
Correct.
In this case we shut the computer or move on to another Zoom call. We're very much supportive, and therefore it's a farming type of environment where we're trying to help each other grow, and we can talk to each other about the problems that we're having in business, or how to do something. Like, you're very savvy in the technology field and so forth, and some of that, and what other people could be using in order to grow their team or to communicate better with their team. You were talking about the Microsoft suites and so forth, and Microsoft Team, was it, right?
Yeah, Teams and AWS and things like that, which not CPA specific in any way, but we were able to adapt and use that for our services.
Right. So if I said, listen, I want to grow my team, I'm not sure how to do it, and I'm sure with a couple phone calls and so forth, I would be able to, and I would only know that if I got to know you and I meet you and talk to you and find out that you're doing that. So I would only be able to obtain that information by simply, getting to know you. And I'm sure you would be happy to share that information, but because we met and we network together, we see each other every week. That's where it starts from. So a lot of that farming goes on. You get to know, like, and trust somebody, and it's so much easier when you know somebody, you like them, and you can trust them. Then it's easy also they're top of mind, and it's easy to refer to.
Absolutely. I think, when you think of a CPA, the first thing that usually comes to mind is, taxes. And, now that we can obviously do more than just the taxes. Now that usually is the first entry in the doorway, and that initial, the consult and preparing the returns, but there's a whole bunch behind that as well.
I remember not too long ago, you were telling us in one of our chapter meetings that you were telling us about something probably a very unique situation or something that you guys do. I don't remember exactly the details behind it, but I remember it was like unique. You were able to handle this. Tell me a story real quick about something very unique that you handled that, somebody came to you and said, listen, my CPA can't help me.
Sure. And I think one of the things that come top of mind is our amnesty cases that we handle. For example, people that have foreign bank accounts or foreign financial accounts, and they haven't disclosed them. Well, they're subject to some significant penalties for not only not reporting, but then potentially not reporting any income associated to that. So we're able to help them, seek amnesty and avoid some, criminal prosecution, while also, just making sure that they get everything current and up to date, and be able to sleep easy at night, really.
Well, yeah, I guess keeping people out of trouble is very unique, and I'm sure those individuals definitely appreciate the fact that maybe you kept them out of some hot water, so to speak.
Sure.
So what I want to do is, we talked about BNI, we talked about you, we talked about all the unique things that you're able to do and provide services that you're able to provide, your position within BNI, the people that we would like to see join us at BNI. I know, like, an architect, a builder, some people, maybe new builders, new architects, new surveyors, people in the construction, blue collar, that are new, that could benefit from, hey, you know what, they're just starting out. These are the kind of people that would benefit the most, because, a good foundation to any business is having good books and good guidance, good accounting guidance. I mean, we can get into a lot of trouble if we don't start it out right. And a good CPA is probably the best move any new business could use. So, I'm going to shout it out there. Anybody just starting a new business because of the pandemic, put them out of business, and you're going to start something new. I want you to reach out to Vikram. Vikram's information can be located. Hold on. Let's see if we can get your website or your contact information. Vikram, what do you prefer? People to email you or call you?
Sure. I mean, I think email is probably the most efficient way to get things going. And then we can definitely set it up accordingly.
Let's see. There it is. Vikram's email is vikramv@vvvcpa.com, or call him at 732-283-4700. Now, this is a good way to get in touch with them, and you can also take a look at this later, to notes, and DM, private message,
sure,
whatever, through Facebook, LinkedIn. We're all over the place. I'm up there in case if you forget Vikram and you got me, I'll put you in touch with Vikram, whatever it is. We want to invite you to come and join us Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. to join us on our virtual networking meeting, where you'll be amazed by the quality of individuals that you'll get to network with, right?
Very true, very true. And you'll definitely learn something, I guarantee it.
Yeah, there's always we learn something every day, right? The people that we meet up with.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I couldn't agree more.
that's about all I have for you tonight. Vikram, is there anything you'd like to add before we, tell everyone to have a good night?
No, I think thank you very much for having me. This was truly great. I have not done anything like this before, and this was a very good experience. You're a great host, Jonathan. So again, thanks for your time and thanks for putting everything together.
Well, I couldn't do it alone. There's a special person behind the scenes, my wife Jennifer, who's unbelievable at doing all this. Help me put it together, and she's making it work every week that we do this. So thank you, Jennifer Wilner, if you can hear me back there. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you very much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you guys all again next week. Vikram, thanks again, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Everyone, have a good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.